Do you ever need to host meetings in Microsoft Teams that contain really sensitive information? Have you ever thought about the security of those meetings? Well, maybe you should, and that's what today's video is all about. But before we start, just a quick introduction. My name is Jonathan Edwards, aka the Bearded 365 Guy. I help businesses all over the world with the Microsoft 365. So check me out at bearded365guy.com. Now, Microsoft Teams is such a powerful tool when it comes to holding meetings and presentations. But what happens when your meeting contains really sensitive information? As an example, perhaps you're a law firm or a financial advisor or an accountant, and you regularly have meeting with your clients. Now, the meeting contents, well, they're quite sensitive. So wouldn't it be great if you could enable end-to-end encryption on that meeting? That would give your clients confidence. Now, what's end-to-end encryption? Well, it means that the contents and the communication of that meeting are all encrypted, so no one could ever find out what was said or what was communicated, not even Microsoft. Or another example, perhaps your business is about to launch a new product, but it's top secret. But you're going to hold a Teams meeting with your shareholders to give them an update. Now, you don't want news of this new product getting out at all. So wouldn't it be great if you could prevent people from recording the meeting or prevent people from copying the contents of the meeting chat onto their clipboard? This would be really good. But how do you achieve all of this? Well, you can achieve this additional security with your Teams meetings by using a product called Microsoft Teams Premium. And yes, you've guessed by the name, it's an extra cost. Now, Teams Premium costs $7 per user per month, but it does much more than Teams meeting security. For example, you can customize the waiting area and the backgrounds with your own branding. So when people join the meeting, they get a very professional image of your firm. Plus, no Microsoft product today would be complete without a bit of Copilot. That is also included with Teams Premium. Now, we'll look at those additional features. We'll glance at them a little bit in the video. But this is all about the security of your Teams meeting. And without further ado, let's jump onto that computer behind me and I'll show you exactly how it all works. Now, just before I go into the demo about using sensitivity labels in Teams meetings, I think it's just worth touching on the often confusing Microsoft licensing. Now, as you will know, if you're a regular watcher of this channel, I'm a massive fan of my customers using Microsoft 365 Business Premium. It's got so many features that businesses need up to 300 users. Now, unfortunately, if you go and buy a Microsoft Teams Premium license and you add that to a tenant running Microsoft 365 Business Premium, it's not going to work. And it's a bit of a shame, but the Teams Premium and Business Premium just don't work together. So if I just show you on the screen now, this is a really useful resource. It tells you what features are included with what enterprise products. So I will scroll right down here. And the area that I'm looking for is information protection. And you can see here, manual sensitivity labeling for Teams meetings. So it's available in these products. So it's Microsoft 365 E5. It's Microsoft 365 E5 Compliance. Now, this isn't a full featured product. This is known as an add-on. So Microsoft 365 E5 is a full product. This is an add-on. And we can go right over to here. We've got Office 365 E5. It's available in there. And also Microsoft 365 F5 Compliance and F5 Security and Compliance. So just scooting back here, what do I mean by this is an add-on? Well, if you go out and buy Microsoft 365 E5, you will have this feature. But what you can also do, if I just open this Word document here, you can buy any of these products. So I could buy Microsoft 365 E3. Now, I wouldn't have the sensitivity labels for Teams Premium on that license. But what I could do is I could then buy this add-on. So you can't use this product in isolation. you do need to bolt it onto something else. So if I buy the Microsoft 365 E3 and this add-on, it will be cheaper than the full E5. So this all might sound a bit confusing, but I think it's just worth covering. And if you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments section. Okay, so before I jump into the demo again, let me just show you something else. Microsoft have covered this on their website. So they've given us some recommendations on their website. Configure Teams meetings with protection for highly sensitive data. So Microsoft have split this into two sections. You've got your highly sensitive meetings. So this could be if you're a law firm, an accountancy, an IFA, and you're having highly sensitive meetings with your clients. And by meetings, we mean interacting with each other. And Microsoft have come up with their recommended default settings on how that meeting should be configured. Okay, so you've got, for example, in a highly sensitive meeting, allow camera for attendees, allow mic for attendees, the option should be on, and that is set at the template level. We've then got these options here, like end-to-end encryption, that is set at the label level. This will all become clear when I show you the demo. The second bit of Microsoft's recommendations are highly sensitive presentations. So when I talked to you in the video about maybe you've got a new product and you're presenting that to your board of directors, that could be a presentation rather than a meeting. You can see the top two sections here, allow camera for attendees, allow mic for attendees. Because it's a presentation, we can set them to off. So now I've got through a little bit of the admin. Let's jump in to the demo. Okay, here is my test tenancy that I use for these videos. What we need to do, so I'm obviously logged into the admin center. We need to scroll down to admin centers and we need to go to compliance, because the first thing I'm going to do is create a sensitivity label. Now, if you are new to sensitivity labels, a few weeks ago, I did make an entire video all about sensitivity labels. So go and check that out. For now, though, we're going to go to Solutions and under there, Information Protection and Labels. Okay, let's start by creating a label. So this is going to be for our Teams meetings. We will call this Highly Sensitive Meetings. The display name, so this is what users will see, will have the same. And then we want a description for users. So again, we'll have this the same, but you can fill this out as much as you need to. Then I'll click on Next. Now, the scope for this label, this is the section we need here, Meetings. So I'll uncheck this box here. Now, unfortunately, if I uncheck Files and Emails, my Meetings is grayed out. So to create this label for Meetings, I do need to select all the options here. Then I'll click on Next. And what I want to do here is obviously protect team meetings and chats. So click on Next. And here are some of the options that we mentioned earlier. So if I just flip back to this screen here, you can see that these options are here. So what I need to do is fill those out within the label, okay? So firstly, this one. So this is people who can bypass the lobby, only organisers and co-organisers. We've got control who can present the meeting. So we certainly don't want everyone. Again, it's only organisers and co-organisers. And then we've got some options about who can record, who can transcribe, and whether the meetings are recorded automatically. But because this is a highly sensitive meeting, we want to make sure that this meeting has end-to-end encryption enabled. So we're going to check this box, and then you'll notice that these boxes are now grayed out, because if a meeting has end-to-end encryption, it means it can't be recorded and it can't be transcribed. We want to control the watermarks, okay? We want to keep these the way they are. We certainly want to control the meeting chat, and we want to select in meeting only. And of course, we want to prevent people from copying the chat content to the clipboard. Once we're happy with that, click on Next. Auto labeling for files and emails, it's not part of this video, so click on Next. We'll click on Next again there. We'll click on Next here, and then we're going to create that label. Okay, once that label has been created, we're going to get asked if we want to publish this, and we do. So I will keep this the same and click on Done. And then I'm going to create a new label policy, and we're going to click on Choose Labels to Publish. We've got this one here, so click on Add, click on Next, click on Next, click on Next, click on Next. We don't need to select any of these. Click on Next. This is about documents. Click on Next. So this option we would use if we want to apply a default label to a Teams meeting. So every meeting that's created would be highly sensitive. Now, there might be some circumstance in your business where you would need to use this. I can't think of any, and certainly not for this example. We've also got another option, which means that users, when they're creating meetings and calendar events, have to apply a label. If you don't select that, they have to do it manually, okay? So they've got to remember. But again, for this example, I'll just click on Next. This isn't relevant to this video, so click on Next. And then we've just got to name the policy. So I'll call this Meetings Policy. There we go. Click on Next and click on Submit. Okay, that new policy has been created. It says here, look, it can take up to 24 hours to publish labels to the selectors use applications. I'm quite happy to click on Done there, and I've got my label there. Okay, I've actually waited 24 hours. Yesterday afternoon, I waited about 4 or 5 hours, and I kept checking, and unfortunately, the sensitivity label that I created yesterday wasn't available throughout the Microsoft 365 admin centers. 24 hours later, I've checked, and it is there. So what we need to do now is we need to go into the Microsoft 365 admin center. We need to scroll down to admin centers, and this time we need to go into Microsoft Teams, okay? And once we're in Teams, we go to Meetings, Meeting Templates. So what we've got to do now is create 2 meeting templates. Now, if we refer back to this Microsoft document here that we looked at yesterday, so we need to create 2 templates. The first one is called Highly Sensitive Meetings. Now, you can see here these settings here. So they are dictated. Some of these settings are dictated by the label we created yesterday, and some of these settings are dictated by the template that we're going to create now. So we'll create a highly sensitive meetings template, and we'll create a highly sensitive presentations template, okay? So go back to here, click on Add. We'll type our name there, highly sensitive meetings. Now here it says apply a sensitivity label. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to apply that sensitivity label that we created. Now when we select this, you can see over the right-hand side, it says unlocked, and the settings under there say locked. So what does that mean? Well, if it's unlocked, it means that the meeting organizer or the co-organizer can change this. So ideally, we don't want it to be unlocked. We want it to be locked. So I just select that again with my left mouse click, and I lock it, and I click on OK, and that is now locked. Let's just have a look at some other settings that appear in this section here. So we've got the camera for attendees and the mic. They are switched on, and they are dictated by the template. We've also got manage what attendees see and meeting chat. Again, these are enforced and they're managed by the template. So going back here, we can scroll down in this template. Now, of course, this is a meeting, so mic for attendees and camera for attendees, these are switched on. And what we can do is we can lock these if we want. So if I click on that one there and lock it, it locks both of them. And then I can scroll down a bit more. We've got options about Copilot if we want to change those. We've got the meeting chat. Now that's already done. In meeting only, that is locked. And also we've got manage what attendees see. So that needs to be switched on. That means we can manage what the attendees see. And again, we need to left click and we need to lock that. If any time we want to unlock it, we simply select it and click on the unlock button at the top. But I'm happy with this now, so I'll save this template. We need a description. Okay, and I will click on save. Okay, that has now been created. So let's go ahead and add the highly sensitive presentations. Put that in there. Let's put a description this time. Okay, this template is virtually the same as the other one. It's just got a slight difference. So I will lock the sensitivity label in there. We'll scroll down a bit on this page. That's all okay. It's all the same apart from this one here because this is a presentation. So we're going to switch off the mic and we're going to switch off the camera for attendees. Once we're happy with that, we just need to select one of these. I don't know why that is, but it is, and it locks them both. And I will scroll down a little bit more. That is already locked. We will switch this on as well, and we will lock that out. So this is the same one apart from the mic and the camera. Click on Save. And now we have 2 meeting templates in our Teams. So how does that look in the real world when you're having a Teams meeting? Well, what I'm going to show you now is a highly sensitive presentation. So let's switch over now. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at what that looks like from a meeting organizer's point of view. So I'm logged in my Teams here. If I go into the calendar and I want to start a new meeting, if I click on the drop down here, and I can scroll to the bottom and see my custom templates. So then I can choose one of my options. This is a highly sensitive presentation. I can put the title, I can do whatever I want here. But towards the right hand side or under options, if it's not showing, you can see that some options may be locked. Now me as the organizer of this meeting, I can't change anything here because that has been dictated by the sensitivity label and the Teams meeting template. I can go into more options, and the only things that I can change, things like the Q&A, the reactions, are things that I didn't lock within the template and I didn't specify within the sensitivity label. So that is what that is like from a user point of view. So I hope this video has been helpful.